Welcome to PottsCast with me, Potts, comedian, and my producer friend Jordan. Hello, Potts. We'll be joined by entertainers, comedians, people around the street, anyone that fucking wants to come on the show, as long as they're not boring as fuck.
Brilliant.
Our guest today is Chant, New Forest Comedian of the Year 2023 semi-finalist, Ustream Laughter Class 2023 finalist, and Train Onboard Supervisor when he's not being funny. Welcome today to PottsCast.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Yeah, I was going to do a little announcement for you.
Go for it.
So good afternoon and welcome aboard PottsCast. We are currently formed of three strapping gentlemen. Our final destination on today's trip will be humour, hilarity, and general fun.
It's brilliant.
That's pretty good.
That's my job, yeah.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And you didn't write that down, mate? You just made that up in your head?
No, I just sort of say what's in front of me. It's strapping gentlemen, and I just say it.
It's all right, you're on the PottsCast, you don't have to say that. It's fine.
Just trying to give the listeners a visual, what they're missing out on.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. You, just flattery is the way forward in the industry, So
It's true.
Right. Sam, thank you for being here today, mate. Lovely to have you over. We're going to put you on the spot.
On the spot.
Cheers, Martin.
All right.
Basically, I'm going to give you 3 random topics.
Okay.
I want you to try and think of a joke by the end of the show. I know, yeah, you're making a face at me.
A joke on each topic?
Any of them. Choose one that speaks to you, whatever you want to do. Potts, if you want to join in as well, you normally do, don't you?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
I'll give you to the end of the show, so you've got time to think about it. But if you can't think of anything, or maybe you've got a joke in the bank somewhere and you can pull it out of the bag for us.
What I would probably say about that is I have been here for, an hour and a half already? I could have said that when I walked through the door, just give me a little heads up.
That wouldn't be on the spot, would it? That would be fake, and we're not about fakeness on PottsCast.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
I really want it to be.
I'm up for the challenge.
Do you know what? At least, we had Keefe on before, and we did this to Keefe, and he said, you could have given me 3 months notice. So 90 minutes.
It's taken me about a year and a half to write 10 minutes, so it could be a long episode, guys.
We thought we'd make it like the train service, delayed. We'll let you know. Make you feel at home, to be honest.
I've got 3.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it. Well, yeah, go on, we'll write these down.
Archery,
Yeah.
pharmacy, magicians.
Okay. They're pretty good.
They're not too bad. I think we had radiology last time. Martin was like, what the fuck is radiology?
Oh, yeah.
But we'll
It's like my brain has gone into overload. Really, say something funny. I don't know anything about any of those things. Of course I do. Just relax. We'll get there.
Cool.
We'll get there. Pharmacies, magicians.
And archery. You know what archery is?
Archery is, yeah.
Bow and arrow.
Robin Hood and that sort of
That's it. There you go. It's cool. So I put you on the spot. Any bits that are working for you at the moment? Any jokes you're proud of? What you rolling with at the minute? Do you want to share with us?
There's my solid bit is I do a bit about an Hitachi magic wand and how that's a vibrator made by a company that also makes trains. And so that started off as a TikTok. So before I got into comedy, I was doing TikToks because I'd lost my confidence a bit and wanted to find my way back out there. I was like, okay, if I put out some TikToks and they get some traction, then maybe there is something in I've got something I can do it. So that was a TikTok I put out ages ago and didn't really go anywhere. But I really like the idea. So that is probably that's my banker piece. Once I get into that bit of my set, wherever I am in my set, when I get into that bit, that's where I feel comfortable and I feel like I'm going to roll. Doesn't always, most of the time it does. And that's the one bit for me. So I go this whole bit about how Hitachi Magic Wand is a vibrator made by a company that also makes trains. Trains that go 140 miles an hour. And it goes on. So.
I like it. I've seen on your Facebook page that you produce some shorts and some videos. So is that just a way to sort of build an audience, build some content? Or?
Yeah, so as I said, initially, but basically when I first started, before COVID, pre-pando, I saw somebody said that the other day, and I thought, what sort of mug goes pre-pando? And there we go, pre-pandemic. I did one gig with a community group. Absolutely thought it went brilliantly. Forgetting that it was like 50 like family and friends of all of the people that were doing it, because it was a community project, not a real audience, should we say. Rushed into another gig, forgot what I was going to say, crippling stage fright, and then didn't gig again. Pandemic happened. I really wanted to get back into it, even though it was terrifying. I just definitely wanted to do it. So that was the TikToks and the shorts and stuff were a way of just putting that out there and going, okay, if somebody likes that, then maybe they'll like the joke I'll tell. So it's sort of a way to ease myself back into it, because obviously you're not standing there in front of people thinking, shit, I need to say something now. You know. So that's how the shorts and stuff started. Now I'd love to post more, but it's so hard coming up with original ideas. Like, you know, you need to be posting like once a day or something, you know, at least like 2 or 3 times a week. And yeah, I don't have that many great ideas. So yeah, if you got any, chuck them my way.
It's not easy with doing comedy, obviously, having to make sure that you do the videos all the time. You did one recently about council houses, didn't you, and what mums used to say. And but it's very difficult to do that, and it's very time, because it's not just the sort of thinking of the idea, it's making sure that you've got time to sort of make it look good and have the captions on and make it sort of look appealing to someone scrolling through their phone. It is difficult to do that. So when do you find time to do that? And where do your ideas come from?
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Obviously, whilst gigging now, you don't want to use an idea, make that into a short or something, and I think actually that would have been a really good bit of material on stage, because I ultimately want to be on stage. So yeah, I find that is hard. And obviously, yeah, you said all that stuff goes into it. You do all that. Yeah, I've got my lights set up. You know, as you know from doing this, you do like 30 takes of the same line before you're happy with it, and then you realise you weren't recording or something or whatever. And then you put it out and it gets 40 views. And you're like, oh man. And then you do one a bit sort of flippantly, like, oh, okay. And then you go, oh, 1.6 million? Like, how? That was nowhere near the best thing I've put out, that I think I've put out. But that's the one that gets the traction.
What is the most views you've had from from these clips that you're doing? What's the most views you've had?
Without checking, I'd have to check. But I think it was about 3 million.
You got 3 million views?
I might be wrong. It might be half of that. I might
That's
be
still
combining
1.5 million views.
It's 1.5 million more views than I've ever got on a
That's
TikTok
quite a
short
lot.
or a Facebook short.
Being polite.
It was half of that. I'm lying. It was 1.6 million, and then the other one got like 1 million.
What was the joke? Yeah, which video?
So this come from a stupid story about a friend of mine who was always skint, and people are like, oh, if it's your friend, it shouldn't matter. But it doesn't matter. That's why we always go out and we do it, and we all buy each other drinks and stuff. It doesn't mean the joke wasn't funny. So it's basically like saying, what happened was we went into the pub, and I was buying the drinks. He didn't have any money. That's no worries. I've already said to him, sort you out a beer. Don't worry about it. So what you having? It's like Foster's. Yeah, Foster's. I was like, what are you having, mate? Oh, I'll have a prony, please. Or a Cronenberg.
Well, and that's the guy that's not paying.
Yeah, that's the guy that's not paying. It's exactly the reaction that it should get, yeah? So he said it was a Cronenberg, so I'll have a Cronenberg. I'm like, oh, Cronenberg? He was like, well, yeah. I was like, he's like, so he said, well, I've got taste buds. I'm not drinking that shit. I said, you might have taste buds. You haven't got any money. That's
what I'd be fucking saying. What a
that. It's a joke, really, yeah? So, the video was unwritten rules.
That's annoyed me already.
Yeah,
I'm annoyed for you.
It's just not, it's not on, is it? You wouldn't do it.
No.
You go, actually, I'll have a water if I have to, you know. I've agreed to buy the guy a beer. It doesn't matter. But it was just the fact that he went to Cronenberg. And obviously, like, I love him to bits. You know, there's no actual issue. But he's always the one as well. Was we're in a nice pub, you know, beer's slightly more expensive, whatever. Oh, should we pop in the spoons for one? Yeah, bit cheaper, isn't it? So we're popping the spoons. You go in the spoons. I'll get these ones, boys. Like, of course you will. Of course you will. You've had 2. You paid for like 4 pints, or we paid for like 2 in there. Yeah, I'll get these ones. Yeah, right. We can go again now. Of course we can.
Yeah. So what he did is he went to the cheapest pub and wanted to get the drink.
And then they get I'll get these ones. Boys. Like you always want to go. Yeah, well done.
It's all right when a whole round comes to £5. It's all right. Yeah.
Honestly, yeah. It's like you can get 2 rounds in there actually, pal. You know. Yeah.
I think I'm guilty of that though. I've got a mate who takes me to Five Guys, and I go, don't worry, I'll get the next one. We're going to McDonald's.
Exactly.
But I said it tongue in
exactly
cheek,
that.
but I don't know if we ever even got the McDonald's, to be honest. I didn't get nothing,
Yeah.
you know.
So the video stemmed from that interaction. So that was an off-the-cuff comment, happened, really funny. I got him his Cronenberg, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how that stemmed. But then obviously the comments start. It's just the you know, like, I don't know, 1,000 people going, oh, you drink Foster's, you're a wanker. Like,
Not
it's
really
like,
getting...
It's like, mate,
I'm
like,
glad
honestly,
they-
oh, you drink that stuff. Oh, he's your mate. It shouldn't matter. It's like, no. What you've missed there is
Yeah.
this is
The
this
point
is
of
a
the story.
joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke. Like, you know. Oh, yeah. Anyway,
I hate that. Annoys me about people is when you're trying. The point is clearly you're saying that's just cheeky, and they're going, "What, Foster's?"
Yeah.
It's like you've not listened to anything else other than sort of
Honestly.
wanting to have a go at someone for not drinking a drink that you like. I happen to like a Foster's. You know, it's in every pub. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'll have a generic beer.
Hey.
I'd rather have a Coke.
Any publicity is good publicity. If you've got a comment section on this, yeah, I do like Foster's and what? And what?
Yeah, exactly. And if you see me out, buy me a
Sometimes.
Foster's because my mate won't. So,
Sometimes they even have it with a bit of lemonade.
yeah.
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it?
Love a lager top.
Yeah, exactly. Make it cheaper. It's nice.
Honestly, man. And the other thing I'd done recently with the shorts was I reposted stuff that was on my TikTok because, again, I didn't put it on Facebook and stuff because I didn't want people that knew me to know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, because if that person, I see that person in the street and I think, what's this idiot doing? Like, posting these videos, he's you know, they're rubbish or whatever. So, but now I've started to try and build my Facebook page. So I've been posting the videos that done well over to Facebook.
Good.
And I'd done one a while ago about, again, completely fabricated story. It didn't really happen. But it's like, you know, the whole trend of tell me you do something without telling me. So I was like, oh, tell me you live somewhere rough without telling me. I was like, oh, I heard a woman walking down the street the other day. She said, Mackenzie, I told you, we're not going to Greg's, we're going to Poundland. Greg's is too expensive or something like that. You know, like, it was just stupid, yeah?
Yeah.
But in my, I don't know, maybe it was my fault a bit. What I've done is I've reposted that now. So this was about maybe 2.5 years ago. I posted that. I reposted it now in the middle of a cost of living crisis. And wow, they come for me in the comments for that one as well. Oh, tell me you're a Tory without telling me you're a Tory and all this stuff. Like, oh, tell me you're rich without telling me you're rich. And it's like, no, these people, well, Mackenzie exists somewhere, but this Mackenzie doesn't exist. His mum doesn't exist. It never actually happened. It was a joke. But they're coming at me like, oh, you're an arsehole. Yeah, got a poor mum just trying to do her best for, you know. I'm like, no, you don't know Mackenzie's mum like I do. So, you know,
I fucking made
she's
it up.
literally out of my head. Yeah. So,
And also,
but yeah, so that was, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe I didn't read the room too well on that one. But
it's all trial
not
and error.
like,
Comedy is all trial and error. I've said that to you before many times. It is. We all want to have it where you just go in and tell the funniest jokes and know where the pauses are, know where the laughs are. But if you don't try it, you won't know. You can't just do, as you know, when you first start comedy, you're like, oh, I'm not sure. By, you know, a few years in, you're like, I'm going to fucking do it. I don't care. You know, either they'll laugh or they won't, and then I'll know. And, you know, that's all you can do with comedy. You recently did Hot Water Comedy Club in Liverpool. How was that experience for you?
I mean, I've never been to Liverpool. Absolutely fell in love with the place. Loved it. But what they've done about blowing smoke up, you know, people stuff. What they've done there, they've created that from the ground up, and it shows it's phenomenal. Everyone we met inside the building, even the bar staff, they all were happy. Like, you know, even though they moaned, did the usual, like, front of house, they were just happy to be there.
Yeah.
They were a great team. They were clearly all friends. It was phenomenal. Where else in the world do you know a new act, new material night that will sell out like 220 odd people?
Yeah.
It doesn't. There's no named comedians. Obviously, Danny Mac, the MC, but none of their names on. All of us completely unknown. Oh, it was just phenomenal. The experience that it's built for it. They were up for it, and. I mean, from a person, like, other than stumbling over like one line at the end because I was overrunning for the first time in my life, I managed to overrun my 10 minutes. It couldn't have gone any better. I haven't seen the video yet. Maybe I'll be surprised when I see it.
I don't think
it wasn't
so.
as good, but it just.
When I was
good.
there, I was obviously there as well. No, you went down a storm, and it is. I agree with you completely. Is what they've done with Hot Water Comedy is nothing short of amazing, in the sense of just the setup they've got there. It's so moral. It's so ethical. When you do those type of nights, they are new material nights, so you're not getting paid, but the audience don't pay either unless they want to keep their spot and have a seat guaranteed. It's just so well done, and you get a video at the end of it that you don't pay for at all, and the experience. Where else, like you say, can you drop in and do a new material night where you'll have 200 people in front of you with a proper setup? and it's just professionally set up, and it's just everything they've got there is just nothing short of amazing what they've achieved.
Yeah, people were saying to me, like, oh, you're travelling all the way to Liverpool, because obviously we're right on the south coast, so travelling all the way to Liverpool to do this gig, you're getting paid for it. It's like, no, what? Like, no, it's like a pilgrimage. And I don't know how other people feel, but obviously, because I was kept saying to people, hot water, it's all over Facebook, and I realised, like, obviously I've got a sort of targeted algorithm showing me that stuff all the time, so maybe I see more of it than other people, but I've looked at it for so long, I've always wanted to go. I had a set I'm happy with that I wanted to do there. And it's like a little pilgrimage, It was like going there, and it was fantastic.
Most people don't understand.
Really
I think that most people don't really sort of, when you say Hot Water Comedy Club, they're like, what? And then you show them a clip of Paul Smith, like, oh yeah, I know that guy. Yeah, what you fucking doing, mate? What you fucking doing? What you been up to? What you been fucking up to? That's not a great impression. But anyway.
Well, he was in the room.
Yeah, I know. It's like he'd come back, to the south for some reason. But you show people Paul Smith, and suddenly they're like, oh yeah, that guy. He does there. But they don't realise. But then when you show them a video, they're like, oh yeah, I have seen videos of this. So they don't know it by name.
Yeah, and
but they know
you get your picture in front of the logo. Yeah. Obviously, again, people are like, oh, straight away that goes as my profile photo, because it's something I've seen. It's something I've aspired to, like watching those guys and seeing how they're doing. I want to like sort of embody that. I want to be a part of that. It was so good. Yeah, I couldn't say enough good things about it. And Liverpool as well. Obviously, I experienced some of the city in the evening after the gig. Probably the less said about that, the better. But it was fun. Everyone was friendly.
It was nice to be recognised.
It was like we managed to find every single person that had been at the show sitting outside a bar on the way down the street.
Yeah,
walking down the street, people going, "Oh, you smashed it, lad! You dead funny you were."
Yeah.
I'm like, I love this.
It's good.
This is what if I could bottle up that feeling from after the gig and just have a swig of that every time I went on stage, that would be. Yeah,
I did it. I obviously did it with you this time, and I did it before at their Seal Street location, and it is an amazing feeling when you come off the stage. And I still remember, like I said, walking off and being told, "You were the fucking funniest. You were the fucking funniest." And it was 3 acts after me they said that, and I sort of you do hold on to that, you do, and then the thing is, from then on in, you kind of just want that feeling. And as you said, I've done it twice. Every time I've done it, it's gone really well, and the reaction's been amazing. And if I could have those gigs every day, I'd do it every day. And it's you just do it for the love of it. You're not there for anything other than the fact of the love of comedy and that feeling. And to top that is very difficult.
I want to know about like an embarrassing gig story now. I was asked this.
I mean, like some of the first gigs I did, where like I had this preconception that everything has to be like you see on the TV, because it's the naivety of it. I don't know anything about the industry. I don't know. So it has to be like you see on the TV. So that like trying to remember everything, word perfect, and like my knees, I get really nervous. Like my knees shake, and I'd feel like everybody could see it, even though they couldn't. I'll come on, people say, "Oh, you come across really confident." Like, geez, like almost like my voice like tremoring because trying like the microphone like shaking while you're holding it. So trying to get over that, that's probably like been the most like what I would say was embarrassing, because I think people could see it even though they're saying they can't. Like, maybe they're just being polite. But so trying to get past that. That's been probably that would be they're the gigs that I don't want to remember, the ones where I couldn't even hold the mic properly, like thinking, oh, I was so nervous. And then when you realise, like, especially at open mics, it's a workshop. Like you're just there to try it. It might be the first time you've ever said it out loud. It might work. It might not.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, it doesn't matter. Like 100%. you write some more, you go again. It's like that. That has probably been the best thing, learning that. It doesn't matter. Because when you get booked to go and do a gig, like a paid spot or something, then you want it to be. But you've done all that work, so hopefully for it to go well,
Definitely.
We'll play Potts or Jord now. So this is like a this or that quiz.
Oh, yeah.
You like this one, don't you, Potts?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Give you a couple of sort of dissimilar subjects. The reason we do it is because I think they differ enough that we can understand a bit more about you.
Right.
So just answer honestly the first one that speaks to you, maybe elaborate why as well. We'll kick off. Ed Gamble or Ed Byrne?
I prefer Ed Gamble.
Why?
Because I like the Off Menu podcast.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I do like Ed Gamble. I mean, one thing I like about him is he manages to get so much material out of one thing.
He does.
He really layers up jokes well. Like I've seen when he does his bit about diabetes.
That's good answer.
I'm not going to answer them all.
Yeah, no,
but
absolutely.
obviously him with James Acaster, so I probably like James Acaster a bit more.
Live or reels?
Oh, reels.
Reels.
100% reels.
Why?
Because you have to sit through so much dead stuff on a live, don't you? Well, I'd say that maybe I haven't watched some good ones, but yeah, I'm not a massive fan of lives.
I meant like on stage live or...
Oh, we meant like live
To
streams.
be honest, I quite purposely didn't want to elaborate on that because I just wanted to see what you'd come out and say.
I thought you meant on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to stand in front of your phone
completely
trying to talk about council houses and seeing if people are going to attack you in the comments.
No.
Although 1.8 million, 1.5 million people seeing you, as opposed to, you can't even fit that into probably any arena.
It's phenomenal
on the
isn't
planet.
it? It's shocking. But I like to. That sounds very self-indulgent, doesn't it? But I have a few times checked the total amount of hours that has been viewed, and I just look at it and think, what a fucking waste of people's time.
Yeah.
How people have wasted thousands of hours looking at me say a few words what is wrong with people? Please carry on, please do some more, but what is wrong with you? Watch it, enjoy it, like it, and then go, damn, I've got a problem. It's truly bad.
I think that's why I wanted to ask it, because obviously on stage nothing beats the feeling, and I think you've established that.
Yeah.
But to have, such a big viewership and to be able to be in control of exactly how that content comes out, I just thought it might be an interesting one. But yeah, it's nice to know that on stage is...
Oh, on stage, definitely. 'Cause as a performer as well. So is that for me to watch or for me to perform? It'd be the same. I prefer to perform live than do. But performing live is having an adrenaline shot in the chest, medically. I'd say the reels and stuff, when they start to pick up some traction, it's like being on a drip. Instead, you're just getting a drip after drip, because you get, oh God, another it's gone up another 1,000 views. It's a much more prolonged sort of thing when it's going well. But yeah, definitely that buzz of being on stage, coming off, and people can't want to shake your hand or something, or or they just sort of look the other way because you think, I don't know, that wasn't good, But
Last one. This is the moral one. You ready? Pocket full of cash or room full of laughter? Rich or famous, mate?
oh, that is a tough one, isn't it? That's a tough one, isn't it? Man, I really do like money, and just no matter where I seem to get, I just there's just never enough of it. It's if I had a bit more, but I guess on the spot, I'm not in an abundant position, so
Sure.
cash would be lovely, but I think deep down morally you'd want to be, it's happiness over, you can have happiness over wealth, isn't it? I guess. So probably a room full of laughter. If I could get some cash on the way, pick up some cash, maybe do a little whip round in the room or something. I don't know, that would be better. But yeah, I think deep down it'd be a room full of laughter, but I really would like some more money.
I was going to ask you, I wanted you to talk about, because you do work on the trains, rather than talking about the job, but talking about train spotters. I thought that would be quite interesting. Because obviously in your job, you said you see a lot of people train spotting. There's a gentleman at the moment on Instagram who's got in the millions of followers through being a massive fan of train spotting. What's your experience of these people working in the industry? And also, what's your perspective on it and the joy that they get from just finding these certain rare trains?
Yeah, it's something we talk about a lot, obviously, within the industry. Some people think, oh my God, not another one. Some people, I've never have a problem. They're always, because they're so respectful of the railway. Because imagine you walking into a theatre and just smashing it up because you're theatres. So you love performing, you love the industry. You would only ever be respectful in that zone. So they're always respectful. What the main thing I always think of is, it's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But I wish I could be that easily pleased. As in, it's such an innocent hobby. You got a camera, you got maybe books and stuff, and you're just happy. I know guys that spend hours and days away just to say that they've been on a certain loco or something like that.
Yeah.
I just think, man, I wish there's something wrong with me that I can't find happiness in doing something so innocent and pure like that. Just because it's not my cup of tea doesn't mean I don't sort of have a respect for it.
Yeah.
You know, I just think, why can't I be happy to go and take some pictures as something?
Do you ever feel
and
like
stuff,
just
you know?
putting the number that they want on the train and going, there you go?
Yeah, because you didn't realise because you're saying the trains look the same, weren't you?
Yeah.
But it's not. It's the numbers. So
You said
obviously
that,
every train
yeah.
has a number on it.
Yeah.
So you know they've got like lists and stuff of what logos they have and haven't seen, and then you can go on it if you go on it under haulage or not, which is like if you've actually been on it whilst it's moving and
Yeah.
stuff. So I wouldn't try to pretend to know too much about it because I'll probably upset some people. I mean, I like trains myself. That's why I like working on the railway, but not more than like a boyish interest. I go like we went to Legoland recently. Obviously, like massive flight path overhead. Every time like an airplane went over, I'm like, whoa, look at that. You know, and then like maybe we were in the docks, so you see, you know, the aircraft carrier coming through, and saying, oh, wow, look at that. I don't know any more about it than that. Just like the boy in me is like, wow. The diggers still see a digger now. Goes, oh, that's cool, isn't it? I want to go on a digger. You know, I couldn't wait. This is one of the best things about having a child. Really, sort of as soon as he was old, like tall enough to go on some of the stuff at Diggerland. Have you ever been to Diggerland?
No.
Diggerland. How's it not? It's a theme park made out of diggers. Like you go and drive diggers.
Yeah.
That's if somebody told me that when I was a kid, you can go and drive that digger. Can I? Take my money. Take my money. Honestly, yeah. So we went when he wasn't quite big enough to do it by himself. So I had to sort of, oh, Daddy's got to go. Daddy's got to help you again. Oh, come on then. Yeah,
You love it.
just driving JCBs, like knocking things over, digging stuff up. That's the most fun. Who needs a roller coaster? You can just go on a JCB.
And kids
So
love
it's that boyish interest. I couldn't tell you what sort of JCB it was. If it was, you know, I don't even know what types there are. It's just, it was awesome.
It's
Like,
awesome.
you know, so I've got that boyish interest in trains and stuff as well. But yeah, the train spot, I've never had a problem with train spotters. They're always very polite. Always very respectful. They just want to do what they want to do. They don't want to cause any bother or anything. I did have quite a good experience recently. One of the old style trains has been decommissioned. I guess they've been taken out of service. So they did a farewell tour. So there's like lots and lots of like hundreds of people on the station, and we were going out, like leaving the station on another one. And the guard asked me if I'd give them some horns because they love it when you they call it tones. They give a bit of tones. And so I was like, just was coming out of Little Hampton Station, like that. I was like, ah. So like again, having no real interest in it. That was awesome. I'd like to do that
it's
all the
nice to
time,
be a part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I quite enjoyed. Yeah, the horns are fun.
So yeah, do you want to do the jokes? I've written mine.
You've written one, have you?
I've written 3, yeah.
Oh.
And then could be terrible.
Yeah, should we do the jokes?
Free.
Well, I've written them because you've had to do
it
about the 3 subjects. So feel free to, while I'm doing this, if you want to have a little think.
So let's just remind ourselves it was archery, pharmacy, and magicians on the spot. Go on then, Potts, you can kick off. Let Sam have
My
a minute.
archery one was Craig David has recently taken up archery. When asked why, he said, well, when the crowd say bow, select them.
It's quite good, actually.
That is really good.
That's
man.
good.
You could have just slid that across the table to me. Couldn't you? I've got nothing, man.
I was like, well, I didn't know how it was going to go down. My pharmacy one was, I tried searching for my Viagra order from the online pharmacy. Nothing came up.
Nice.
It's old school. But
Nice.
it's got a modern twist.
And my magician one is, David Copperfield said he's so proud of his ex-wife following in his footsteps by making half his assets disappear.
That's really good.
That is
You
really
fucking made
good,
them
isn't
up.
Yeah.
You've been on Google.
Well,
Really good.
the pharmacy one was adapted, I'll be honest with you, from one I've already sort of written. So
Yeah. Very good, Potts. Very good.
Oh, thank you.
Go on then, Sam. What have you got, mate?
Oh, that's going to embarrass. I'm going to really embarrass myself now. Basically, Paul Daniels was looking for his butter collection. Noticed one was missing. He was like, Debbie McGee.
There we go.
So bad.
It's not bad.
It's not at all.
Again,
No,
these
you
are on the
thought- I
spot
didn't-
jokes.
Yeah.
Potts won't mind me saying, with the Keefe, when we had Keefe on, your one was like better written down and it didn't really come across that well. And he's just got 3 belters out of the park. I think Potts gets 3 points.
But 3 points, honestly. They were
Well, you know, they were
absolutely-
good.
Yeah, they
and
were
they were
good.
on the spot. We've only had like 30, 40, 50
One was
minutes.
adapted, like I said. I'll take credit. The pharmacy one was adapted from an earlier thing written. But yeah, no, it's just the way how your mind works, isn't it? And I suppose a lot of my jokes have become one-liners, and that's the way I kind of write. Whereas your comedy style is not really so much one-liners. There's a little bit of it in there, but it's quite story-driven.
Story, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah. Appreciate you making me feel better about that.
I genuinely believe that. Like I said, we know like a lot of comedians like Nathan Ramsden Locke. Obviously, he's very one-liner, sort of pun-driven. But a lot of the acts we know, they kind of have remnants of one-liners, but a lot of people story-driven. I have a little bit of observational comedy in my set, but it's slowly become kind of one-liners a little bit. And yeah, that's the way I write, but it's not the way I talk. So that's something I'm trying to sort of break away from, not all just one-liners.
Really quickly, would love to know how the competitions are going. Obviously, there's the New Forest new comedian and the laughter class. You're a finalist. That's So Jim Davison, that's his competition, I believe.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting. I mean, massively. I've never done any competition stuff before because, like, don't know. Sort of trying to find out where I stand. Should I be trying that? Should I be doing this or not? So yeah, entered New Forest New Comedian in a year. I entered So You Think You're Funny as well, but I haven't heard anything back, so I'm assuming I haven't got through to the semi-final of that. Although there's a few other people I know haven't heard either. Maybe they haven't got through as well. Who knows? But so New Forest New Comedian, yeah, it was really exciting. Just felt good. Just trying to work on like slowing myself down. Don't get overwhelmed. It's just another gig. It's just another 5 minute set. And like it felt really good. And that I hope that come across as I got through and stuff. So so the semi-final is on Monday the 12th in Hangar Farm Arts Studio, Totton. So if anyone wants to come to that and show some support, that'd be welcome.
How much are tickets?
Yeah, it's available on the website. Price said on the website.
Okay, cool. Okay, no problem at all.
This will probably be out a lot after that anyway.
It will, won't it?
Oh, cool.
We'll just presume you won.
So a friend of mine who sort of he was saying like, oh, could you imagine if you won? He's like, it was like the autobiography, couldn't you? New Delhi to New Forest.
That's really fair play.
I was like, oh man, that's a sign.
New Delhi to New Forest.
New Delhi to New Forest.
That's quite clever. Yeah, no, fair.
I do like it. And I mean, like, obviously, a big question. I feel like it would be stupid not to ask it. Obviously, Jim Davison is running the Laughter File comedy, and like you're a person of colour, and so like, have you had comments or?
Yeah, absolutely. People straight away like, oh, well, Jim Davison is this, Jim Davison is that, and we all know that his style of humour is close to the line. Does it cross the line sometimes? That's your own personal taste, isn't it? Comedy is objective. I was asked before, I say the same thing. I can only judge people on how they treat me, on my own experience. I can't go on somebody else's secondhand emotions, secondhand experience. I've spent around about 2 hours with a guy who is nothing but supportive, welcoming, and encouraging. But I think the way some people hear about it or see about it, they think I'll turn up in the room and be like, "Get that bloke out of here!" It's nothing like that. And by now, Jim has been on the circuit on TV. He's been around for so long now. If you're searching him out, you want to see him and you want to hear his material. If you're finding him, you're not really finding him by mistake anymore. So if you know that it's not your cup of tea and you know that you might be easily offended or sometimes uneasily offended, but offended nonetheless, we've all got the option to just walk the other way. Just walk the other way. There's I don't think there's any hatred there. It's not like he's starting up a rally or something. He's not inciting hate. It's just jokes. It's some of it maybe is of a humour that's moving past us now, but that doesn't mean that there's not people there that are going to listen to it. As I say, I can only judge somebody on the way they've treated me. He's been nothing but supportive, welcoming, and encouraging. And I hope to work with them a bit more and stuff. Like so, basically, if you win the competition, which is obviously a massive leap forward, but if you win, you get a supporting slot on one of his shows. You get signed to a comedy club, and you get like a recording of a special to go on the Ustream platform and stuff. So yeah, it's exciting. I suppose it's exciting to be a part of it. I've never been part of anything that was filmed before and stuff. Sure. I hadn't realised that part of the competition was filmed. The part I've already done. You did like a little interview with the host and stuff. It was a great experience. It was really I enjoyed it.
I think it's tricky as well because like you're like, for all intents and purposes, you're new to comedy. You've only been in for a few years. It's a big shot and a big opportunity. I suppose, like, some people are divided because they do think the things he says could be perceived as like hateful, or his views disguised as jokes. I suppose it's tricky, but hey, like, you've met him, you have a relationship with him now, you work with him, and I just wish you all the best.
Yeah,
And
thanks.
at the beginning of the final, does it start with, "It's only a game, so you better believe I'm
Honestly,
right.
man,
I'm going to be winning this competition tonight."
Sam's break.
Exactly.
comedy.
He had his big break in 91. You know, he's got to give yours in 2023.
Yeah.
So that's what a lot of this is about, obviously, you know, because at this stage in his career, he doesn't need to be supporting grassroots stuff. You know, he's done all his hard work and stuff, you know. But he's always saying, you know, one of the things he was really keen to mention was that obviously he got his breakthrough
Yeah,
New
he was,
Faces
of course.
all that time ago. It was New Faces.
Well,
what it was
I
called,
believe so, yeah.
And obviously, there's not too much like that now. You've got your big shows like Britain's Got Talent and stuff.
Yeah.
But so he was keen to, you know, and like when we got there, he's saying like, we're not here to make anyone look like mugs. We're not here to make you look stupid. He's like, anyone that's got the balls to get out there and do that, you know, it has my respect, sort of thing. You know, not what you would imagine. You know, not what people would imagine. That
It's great to have a competition judged by comedians that have come up through the circuit, and not through a certain primetime television programme of people that have not gone through, obviously, that. So it's, you know, it's a competition judged by comedians, and that's only going to be a good thing.
absolutely.
Good luck, man. And
Yeah, good luck.
Well, thanks very much.
Absolutely.
Fingers crossed, and yeah,
By the time this comes
we can only
out,
do our best.
Hopefully, you would have gone very far, and hopefully gone through the competition, maybe even won it. I hope you do.
Cheers, man.
do.
Thanks for having me, guys. Been
You're
a
very
blast.
welcome. Thank you very much, Sam, for joining us for PottsCast. Thank you, Jordan, for being my producer friend and co-host above all.
so welcome.
And we will see you next time on PottsCast. Thank you.
And if you want to hear more from Sam, you can catch him on TikTok at Sam Chant, and on Instagram and Facebook, Sam Chant Comedy.